So I wanted to ask several people a few questions about how they were coping. There's lots of questions being asked about coronavirus and what's going on, all that sort of thing. And I'm just interested to know how people are coping, what they're learning, what their mental health is like, and all of that sort of thing. So this video is all about that. I've got a bunch of questions which I want to ask people. They can pick whichever ones they want, I guess. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing really, but I thought I'd try them out on myself first. So the first question: what has changed for you since all this began? Now, I suppose a lot of that's obvious for me personally. It's the not going out, not getting out as much as I did. My life is much smaller. My life is more in my flat. We do have a small office, but rather than my partner and I being together 24/7, he goes to the office because he has a lot more paperwork than he needs, and I stay at home. So my life has sort of shrunk to our living room. I will do a video at some point to show you what my office has become now. But yeah, my life is much smaller. And I think also what I've realised is who my friends are, not in a negative way at all, but even the neighbours that we've got around here where we live in Bath, we're talking to them at a distance, but we're talking to them a lot more. So that's a big change for me. So for me, in a way, although my life feels smaller, there's also more of a sense of community. So I guess that's a positive. But I do miss simple things like being able to say, let's go to the pub for a drink. Just simple things like that, just being able to plan something on the spur of the moment. So I will be happy when we get to do all of that again. Can you hear that beeping? There's a lorry backing up outside. I'll just wait a second and wait until that lorry's gone back into. That is a DPD driver. They're doing okay, I guess. Probably worked to the bone at the moment, bless them, a bit of a risk. But anyway, right, so the next question: what change are you going to try and stick with when this is all over? That's quite a hard question. I think for me, the biggest change is buying more local, although we're still using Sainsbury's. There's a local bookshop which we have used quite a lot, but now that's where we're going to go. And we're also trying to get all our groceries from local companies and small businesses. So I think the way we shop, the way I shop certainly, is going to change. I want to sort of go to local companies if I can and use those local businesses and help the local area thrive. It's great, you know, we've got Amazon, they're sort of in control of everything, but when you look around, there are other alternatives, and we've all kind of forgotten about that. So I think that's a really good positive change, shop local. How are you looking after your mental health? There's a big question. It's really difficult because you don't actually know what's going on, what's going to happen. You can't plan ahead, and that's really difficult. We all like to have little things, little bits and pieces to look forward to. At the moment, it's just sort of one day after another, and it just feels like a grind. So for my mental health, I'm enjoying sort of going out for walks, those state-sanctioned walks, as people are saying, but I'm enjoying going out for an hour or two, getting some exercise. I listen to my audiobooks when I'm doing that, and I take pictures as well. So I'm exploring bits of Bath. I've lived in Bath for 5 years, but I'm enjoying really sort of having a look around and exploring and going around the back of buildings, not breaking in, but down alleyways and places that I wouldn't normally go to, and just sort of having a good look around, taking pictures, taking in the view. So yeah, for my mental health, it's getting outside, getting some exercise, and getting some fresh air, and just listening to books that take me away, take me to somewhere else. Right, so the next question is, what have you learned because of this situation? That's a difficult one. I think for me, again, one of the big ones is about this sense of community and about what's important. You know, I have been one who, you know, you plan a night out. It's great because it's a big night out and there's loads going on. It's got loads of moving parts. And what I would actually just like to happen is for my friends to come round and have dinner and a few beers. And that's it. That's all I want. And I want to spend time with my family and have a meal with them and sit down with them and chat with them and play with my brother's dog and do nothing much, sit and eat pizza on my brother's sofa at his house. Really simple things. So I've learned that life doesn't have to be complicated, and it really is the simple things that I really enjoy and that I'm really sort of missing. So that's interesting. So I think there's a bit of me that sort of, my life might stay a bit smaller because of what's happened. It's made me look at how I live, what I do, what I spend my money on, what has bothered me in the past, and it sort of crystallizes those things that are actually important to you. It's quite interesting. And right, my final question, I'm not actually sure I can answer, is what is your top tip for getting through this? Honestly, I don't know. I think it's rely on your friends and family as much as you can, or find your support network somewhere, be it neighbours or whatever. Use things like Zoom or Skype or whatever to talk to people. I think it's one thing to be on the phone and hear a voice, but it's quite something else to actually see somebody. It's not the same as, you know, face-to-face interaction, but it's better than nothing. It's nice to see a face, how they react when you're talking, and just see those people that you like your family, like your friends, or whoever your new network is. So find your network, find your people, and talk to them. And don't be afraid to ask for help. People are a lot more helpful and giving at the moment. Ask for that help if you need it. It's really important. And for me, for now, I think that's everything. I'm going to be trying these questions on a few other people as well, so it should be interesting answers. Been great talking to you. I'll speak to you later. Bye.